Well, not actually protesting. They decided when the school district came up with this sort of plan to thwart desegregation efforts, a so-called freedom of choice plan where whites were supposed to choose white schools and blacks would choose black schools. They decided to send me to the white school instead of choosing the neighborhood black school. So they were not protesters in the sense that they were out, doing anything. As a matter of fact, the agreement was that my parents would not, make a big deal about it, and the school district would make a big deal about it, and I would just go, and everything would be as normal as possible under the circumstances. I was there by myself. It was pretty tough at first. There were people who sort of went out of their way. Kids, how kids are, anybody who's different in a way, a lot of times there's some kids who fixate on that. But there were a few whose parents told them, to make sure that they played with me. But by far, it was a very tough situation. The teachers were fine. They were wonderful. But it was a very tense moment. My mother said at one point that I broke out in hives. I don't remember that, but it was certainly a stress reaction, I think, to what was going on. Well, I think it made me think at a very early age about race. I think lots of black people in the South during that time period did. This is the mid-'60s, thought about race, but I was very conscious of there being some sort of movement in the world, that something was changing in the world, because I was at this school and I was sort of on display. Delegations of people would come by and stand in the doorway and sort of look inside to see this, big experiment, this one black person in a room full of whites. So I had a sense of, well, mission is too messianic, but a sense that there was a purpose and that black people were going somewhere. I mean, from a very early age, that there was some place to go, that there was something that was wrong that had to be changed. So I started thinking about those things pretty early on. This kind of forced me into that.